Hi everybody, Russ on the West Ham Network. Hope you are all safe and well. If not, let's be honest, deflated. I think everyone's a bit deflated at the moment, aren't they? It's fair enough. It's fair enough. I am. I'm more deflated this morning than I was last night. Does it make sense? I don't know. Anyway, happy Friday. Another week. Another week's gone. Nice weather in the UK. Enjoy it. Have a nice weekend. Let's stuff Norwich and finish off this season on a high rather than a Peter. That sounds right, doesn't it? If you're new around here, as I say, give it a like, give it a comment, give it a share, give it a bloody good subscribe. Lots of new people turned up yesterday, which was fun. We had fun, didn't we? For anyone who joined us for the watch along. As always, we'd love to have been there, but just can't afford it, honestly. Just can't afford to go out there, let alone Mrs. Budden let me have the time off. But safe travels, everyone's coming back. It looked like an amazing time. That's why we try and put the little videos. We get sent these little videos. We put them up just so you guys, obviously there's thousands of people fortunate to get, but there's obviously millions of people not fortunate enough to go there. So hopefully you enjoyed a little bit of what it was like, the atmosphere. It was coming through the TV quite a lot. You could hear it, what an incredible atmosphere it was, and wasn't meant to be. 40 years of hurt, or 41 years of hurt, never stopped me dreaming. 42 years of hurt, never stopped us dreaming. Anyway, let's see. We've got some chats, and today, just as a little warning, today is a very positive show. Today, we're going to be very positive. We know full well that we didn't sign anyone in January. We know full well that we haven't played well since probably November. But it's all positive today. We're going to have a positive. We're going to talk about just how well the season's has done for us, because it's important, I think, to just look back and see. Look back at the last year maybe and just see what a great season we've had, because it has been a great season in the history of West Ham, in the modern day history as well. So I am not apologising at all for being very positive today. Just so you guys are aware, because it will be a very positive day, and people will be pissed off because I'm being so positive. But that's me. That's me. Some people negative, some people positive, and I'm always positive. Anyway, let's see. We've got the chat. Reese, good afternoon to you. Everyone deflated. Good evening, good morning, James. Afternoon. Terrible night. It was a terrible night. Wasn't a great night, let's be honest. Let's not sugarcoat it. It wasn't a great night. We didn't really turn up, I don't think. And I thought we looked naive. And I think the same true. I was listening to the people talking, Leicester fans, about their semi-final in the conference. And again, it was naivety for them. They felt, Roma knew how to get through, and Mourinho knew how to get through these ties. I don't think we had the nouts, in all honesty. But we live and learn, don't we? Afternoon, not slept, not going to lie. I'm going to be in a coma. I didn't sleep very well as well tonight. Ludders, hope you're all well. Visha, hope you're well. Russ, can't see us winning any of the Iranian games. Unfortunately, we've got used to losing and can't buy a win. Oh, Ludders. Oh, well. Afternoon, Simon, hope you're well. Astrophis, I see it from a different point of view. Nothing well for us yesterday, but I feel proud for the boys as we played so well 10 minutes. And if we had any luck, we could have scored. You're totally right. And actually, that's the way I was looking at it, to be honest. Astrophos, Astro, I'll call you. You're right. 10 men, they couldn't break us down. I think Declan Rice actually said it the best. He was gutted but proud. And I think that's what I am. I'm gutted, because it would be nice, but I'm proud, Very proud of what we've achieved. And you're right. I mean, look at the first leg. Centimetres hitting the crossbar, hitting the post. One of them went in. If Aaron Cresswell if we hadn't scored, they conceded in the first half. I mean, if buts and maybes in it. That's always that's basically the centre. If if we had a tombstone, it'd be West Ham. If buts and maybes, because it is, isn't it? If Aaron Cresswell took did that sort of thing. I don't know why he was in the centre as well. Why was he covering that position? But why did he do it there? And they scored that goal. And Fornals was playing wing back, and it's as always, the bridesmaid, as Charlie's put so eloquently. Michael, hope you're well. Shame for the result. You go again. We certainly do. Happy Hammerette, hope you're well. Welcome. Are you home yet? I've got things going on today, Russ, to take my mind off. Having my doors and windows changed. Always a fun job. I had to take Bella to get her haircut today. Greetings indeed from Greece. To us, it was the world. To the world, tomorrow's chip paper. Onwards and ups. Do you know what, Al? Bloody good point. I'm starring that. Bloody good point. It is. It's the world to us. But as you said, tomorrow's another day. And, 2 years ago, I never gave a shit about Europa League or the Champions League. In all honesty, it's only since we've been part of it that I've started to look at the results. And so it was always like they're playing in Europe. Yeah. And now I've got a taste for it. Got a taste for it. All the guys going to all the away games, in Europe, they've got a taste for it. They want to carry on that European journey, and hopefully we will carry on that European journey. Proud of what we've done indeed. Lunch today, eating at the Harvester, going for nacho starters, burger for main, and ice cream sundae. Very nice too. Washed down for a nice glass of water with ice. Thank you. Can I just say Frankfurt should be ashamed of their fans. Disgusting behaviour from most of them makes us Hammers look like angels. Indeed. Glenn, I'm a proud supporter. You'll all see Deck having a go at the ref. Passion from our skipper. Passion from our manager as well, innit? Just boots the ball in a keep person's face. Woke up this morning and said, we look at it and we will address our problems, and from today we will learn from last night. In my team, I trust. Hughesy, you bang on. And that's the thing. I don't see today, it sounds really, really corny, but it's true. I don't see today as the end. I see it as the beginning. Too often, and we'll do some things in a minute. I'll go for some things. Moyes' antics are embarrassing. Just in a video of having a go at the ref in the tunnel. He doesn't get pulled for it. He really looks angry at the ref. Great season. You won't even qualify for Europe. Charlie, I'll talk about what I mean, all right? I'll talk about what I mean in a minute. I need to put things into perspective for some people. I really do. And you might think you've had a crap season, and I totally get that. But from my perspective, we'll go back and look at some dates, look at some stats, and look at things like that. It ain't been a bad season, mate. When was the last time that West Ham got to a semi-final of a European competition? Not in my lifetime. Yes, we were one game away from the final, but 1976 was the last time we qualified for a semi-final. 1976. We didn't qualify in 1980. We got to the quarters. 1976, well before my time. And so, I think we have short-term memories sometimes that, are we battling for relegation? No. Are we on the verge of still qualifying? We will be qualifying for Europe again. We'll beat Norwich. We'll finish 7th, and we'll be in the conference next season. And that will be fine by me. Absolutely fine. More glad about the fact we did not learn from the first game when they pushed the third goal from across. Pulled our centre-backs fast forward 1 week. Same again. Totally right. We've done incredibly well this season with the squad we've had. If we can invest over the summer and bring in some quality players, I can only see positives. Greetings from Frankfurt. Hope you could do the same as we did. Come back in a year or two and make it to the final. And that's what I did. I mean, Frankfurt got to the final, got to the semis 2 years ago, having knocked out Inter Milan, Benfica, and Shakhtar Donetsk. And now they've also this year done Real Betis, they've done Barcelona, and they've done us as well. And they could do Rangers as well. We're all gutted because we know we could have. That's what I mean. If buts and maybes, isn't it? If buts and maybes. That is West Ham. So proud though, through and through. Proud of the journey. Don't want crappy Champions League anyway. Who wants that? Travelling home, nice to see. Safe journeys homes. West Ham need to remain the four all to go back on top. No, we won't be top four. We won't be top four. That's finished now. I don't think it matters if we sold every player inside the whole dog up. Will still be there if they aren't. You're totally right. We should all chant, "We are proud of you. You're massive." You do know the Papa John's conference means we have to play we do have to play a conference round. So we have to get a two-leg qualifier in the first few weeks in August. But yeah, I know. We should have beaten these. That lost both games down to us. Most teams in Europe found us in the PL. We are still challenging for the latter. And again, look, I'll say it again. Frankfurt. I mean, you guys are like 9th, 10th in the league. Lyon were 9th, 10th in the league. Yeah, Sevilla, they're the only two. They were second, and they still have bad. I think it feels like a bad season because apart from Europe, most of the big wins were early. You're totally right, Chris. Because for me, and I said it on the stream yesterday, if it was the other way around and we had a really shit start to the season and then we ended up crawling up to 7th, we would have probably had a good season. But because it's the other way around, because we were there and we dropped from, say, 3rd to 7th, and because of what that means in terms of places, 1 to 4 being the Champions League, then the Europa, because we've sort of, I think that's why it hurt. I mean, if we were 8th and we finished the season 12th, it'd be like, oh, well, it was like a few places here, places there. But I know. Here's my mate. Here's 1K Runner. We had a good go yesterday. You are my friend. Thanks for joining us. We only lost 4 of our entire campaign. That's amazing. 3 points Sunday. We're heading back into Europe. Let's look forward to 3 points Sunday. Guarantee football next season, indeed. I don't think it's been a bad season, so we're clear. I can't be proud of the team. That's what I mean, Chris. I can't see as well. And that's what I mean. Look, that's what I said. We're going to keep positive. And as I said, I have no, it's going to be, I'm staying positive. Because the season's not over yet. We've got 3 games. We've still got to say goodbye to Mark Noble as well. We've still got qualified for Europe. Plenty on there. And in fact, don't forget, we were one win basically from the Champions League last year, 2 points off, or whatever it was. And we just beat Spurs last season to qualify for the Europa League. We could have been in the conference this season as well. So when people turn their nose at the conference, it does my brain in. Absolutely does my brain in. Anyway, if you think we're small and we achieve, imagine this season absolutely massive. Europe is Europe. The experience travelling the world. Anyone ask Aston Villa or Newcastle if they'd swap. And as I said, next season, it's going to be tougher. Newcastle are going to be stronger. Villa are going to be stronger. It's going to be hard to get into that top 7, top 8. So we need to keep, I think actually conference is the easiest way to qualify for Europe the next year. Noble to start Sunday? Yeah, I'd imagine so. Not to mention certain teams have those outbreaks just before the January transfer window, indeed. And I think when we were riding high in 3rd and 4th, we were in a slightly false position because the other teams around us had played 3 or 4 games less than us because of everything. So I think on paper we were 3rd, but realistically we're probably around 6th or 7th anyway. But anyway, I have these little pearls of wisdom again, indeed. What happens? 3-1. It did, mate. 3-1. 3-1. It was unbelievable. All about perspective. We're just punching above our weight last few years. We're a paper-thin squad. It's been nice not having the stress of relegation. Exactly. Why are people confident of getting a win? We never do well after the EL game. We don't Ludders, but usually we've won. We've qualified for the, this team are going to be gutted. They're going to be gutted. And I think Moyes is going to, Moyes has to put the rocket up their arse. He has to. And I think people like Declan Rice, people like Bowen, these guys are going to say, right, and then, and I would probably start Mark Noble in there, because if anyone's going to get him going, it's going to be Mark in that middle of that park. Norwich got a couple of guys out, Sargent's out, and one of the defenders is out as well. And I think this is a good, I think it's, and also it's a way as well. It's a way out of, certain people, having a moan up at the team, and I think actually it'll work. I think we'll have a good game. I think it will. Shackles are for Norwich, nothing to lose. True, but I think I think we're sort of like we're not hand tied to thinking about Europe now, about the Europa League. It's like we know what we have to do, and we know we're not going to get Hill City, and then you don't want to get down to Brighton, because in theory Brighton, I mean, although we're 3 points above Wolves, we've got a massive goal difference, so it's 4 points really. So that's why I mean, get the win, then it's done, and then we can start thinking about giving Mark the proper send off that he deserves. Don't be sure it will not. Don't be that sure it will beat us. Well, you never know. Losing his form habit. I'll tell you what, though, Russ. The nerves last night was right up there with the need last. It was, but it was nice. It was a nice one, wasn't it? In a weird way, looking back at it, and that's why I said at the beginning of the show. For me, it's a celebration. Whatever happens. It's a celebration for us. We put through. West Ham fans have been through the mire. Well, since I've been supporting. I first went in the early 90s. I've been on 40 years of nothing, 41, win nothing in my West Ham life apart from an Intertoto Cup and a couple of Betway trophies. And I've seen the side relegated 2 times, 3 times. Oh, I don't know. Too many to remember. And it was a thank you. It was a thank you to the fact, but also the guys. Fair play. The guys who went out to Frankfurt again would love to have gone, but Mrs. Budden wouldn't allow it, and can't afford it as well. To be honest, it's fair play to people who can do this. But for me, I just couldn't, but it was a thank you to them, and as I said, it's not the end; it's the beginning. I really think that. Feeling good, looking forward to Sunday. Head up, don't cry. Indeed, proud of the team, but Cresswell needs to be phased out of the 11. He targeted by opposition every week. He's a weak link. He's 30 odd. Is he 32 now? Hammer's headlines tonight. We're going to go for a few people being linked with. One is a left back, and I think that could be an area that's prioritised in the summer. Hope we do get something out of the game, but the lads are men. Yeah, they are, and that's why I think then you need to start bringing in. That's why I think it is about It's about the emotion now of Mark Noble. That's what it's using. In that last season at the Bowling, a lot of those games were because it was the last time we were playing Arsenal, the last time so it had that sort of extra spice. This is the last time Mark Noble could start for West Ham. If he starts against Norwich, he may well do, and that should be the catalyst for the team around him. And it's a team thing to do. So that's why I think I'm very confident of getting a result at Norwich. Very, and as you said, Aaron Cresswell's had a rest, hasn't he? Really. Not what we wanted, but come on, having a giggle. Plays at least to be guaranteed to be first in the and can cut the Oranges. Indeed, lost their last 3. We've lost our last 3. We have to win somehow, despite our poor form. Do you think? Anyway, yeah, I think there will be 13 defeats. First 14 games in the top 4, but next half after Christmas. Yeah, so maybe we went down a little bit with the decorations. Still really proud of our journey. Indeed, 6 is not out of reach. You're 2 right. It's not out of reach. Particularly when Man United were going on freefall. But I don't think so. I think we'll get 7th. My neighbour's supposed to be back at 6th. He hasn't left Germany yet. Jesus. Lucky to have seen us win something over the years. And that's what I mean. And I think that's what we grasp at these opportunities. But, if we get more of them, and also in the European experience, I think, if the team then, next year gets to the latter stages of the Conference League, then their experience now. They have experience of getting into those situations. We didn't have that experience on the park, or really, to be fair, on the bench. I mean, Moyes hasn't really had much European experience as well, so it's new to him as well. So it is a learning process. And as the guy in the chat, the Frankfurt guy said, that's what they did. They got knocked out 2 or 3 years ago, came back and have qualified, and have been undefeated. To be better, leave the odds in scored actually 50%, but leave the team with 10 members immature. And he did. No, you're right, totally right. So he's now going to join the coaching or go elsewhere. I don't think he'll go to the coaching. I was talking to. I can't remember. I was talking to an ex-player the other day, an ambassador. It might have been. I can't remember. And I gave him my idea, and he thought that was a good idea. But I don't think coaching is going to be Mark's bag. We need to learn the dark art. That's what we need. Exactly. We need to be the ability to switch on into European mode. We weren't. That's what I thought. We were naive. And I thought Cresswell was naive in the Premier League. That type of tackle, he wouldn't have gone down like that. And there's a little bit more give and take. When anything, that's it. Done. And in Europe, it's very different. Is anyone feeling sad? That certainly am. For me, he's done. Can't wait for the summer. Get some quality in. Really thought Noble lifting the trophy. Yeah, that's what we all thought. Yeah, that was almost like a Hollywood ending, wasn't it? Are Cress and Moyes banned? I believe they probably are, actually. No chance. I live here. We'll win one game. Due one win. There we go. Once again, people getting too cocky saying we'll win the conference when there'll be some tough teams. I mean, look at, was it, look at the teams that were in there, the likes of Feyenoord and PSV and Marseille and Roma. It's not a Vauxhall conference. The conference is literally just the name of it. It's a very tough league to get into and to win. Look at how Roma pretty much, Jose Mourinho, Leicester, they lost as well, didn't they? They lost 1-0. I know it feels flat, but we are punching well above our weight. We certainly are. Did he not? Reality is becoming harsh. Signed some players in the new season. Any update? We're going to talk about that tonight at 5 o'clock. We're going to do a whole sort of raft of rumours. Really, really quick fire. Bosh. Just to get everyone getting ready, because we're going to get in loads of them. Loads of rumours. You're going to be sick of them. And what we're trying to do is condense them so you don't have to read it. Then we do the old Rusty rumour rating, so you sort of, to sort of weed out some of the really stupid ones. But there's going to be plenty of them. Just always needed. Premier League these days. You're totally right. The Black Arts, indeed. Also, if you finish it, I believe it's qualifiers. It is, mate. But the qualifier is, I believe, within the first few weeks of the season. I've got it here because I was just reading about it. Actually, Leicester not getting to the final helps us out. If they got to the final, we wouldn't have qualified for Europe probably if they won the Europa League conference, because they would have taken the spot because and it's all basically because the FA Cups all worked out as well. Anyway, where is it? Yes, so we'll have a playoff and. Would have 2 weeks. The first round featured and the second legs, I believe. So West Ham would have to play a 2-leg qualifier just a couple of weeks into the new season to make the qualified group stages. There's a playoff round first, which features 10 teams, with the draw taking. So that'd be the 18th and the 25th. So 18th and 25th would be the draw. So there we go. Right, what we got here? To be fair, they controlled the game better. He said it did, yeah. Might be a while before we have a sight of Champions League like the last 2 seasons. Maybe, but stopping off some lunch. Enjoy. Has to be here. I was talking to Anton just now, just like literally 10 minutes ago. For me, not 10 minutes ago, 20 minutes ago, because we've been on for 20 minutes. For me, this season, the summer transfer window is the most important transfer window I think I've ever known. Bigger than when we missed. It's more important than when we moved from bowling, in my opinion. Because as I said, I see this as a beginning, not as an end. And I think we need to build on this. And I think everyone, as I said, too often than not. Look here. Let's just look at this. And I know I've been banging on about this a lot, but it's true. We've got here. This is. Finishes in the top 7 in the top division. Okay, so only 10 times in our entire history. So we're going back. We're talking, Bobby Moore. We're talking Jeff Hurst. We're talking Phil Parkes. We're talking Trevor Brooking, Devonshire, Tony Cottee. We're talking David Cross. We're talking Paolo Di Canio. All Dimitri Payet. All these players. That's obviously just a random selection. Only 10 times we've finished in the top division within the top 7. And if we finish 7th this season, that's the first time ever in our 126-year history that we've done it 2 seasons in a row. Just like that, to me, that is massive. That's a massive achievement. I know it doesn't look like it now because we could have been in the Europa League and we could have been in the Champions League. But, too often than not, we have a good season and 4 or 5 shit seasons. We We had a good season at the bowling, last season at the bowling. Then we had a load of dross. Until basically Moyes took over 2 years ago. Before then, probably the best season was maybe the season we went up in 2012. Before then, the FA Cup. Before then, probably the Redknapp era, the Intertoto era. Before then, probably the season we went up in 92-93. So we've always had these sort of like false dawns. You know, I'm not teaching you to suck eggs, but I think sometimes it's a bit of like realism. You know, it's like, but also, more importantly, when you look at that, with so many, money in the game now. To finish 6th or 7th compared to how much money's in the game with the likes of City and Liverpool and Man United and Chelsea, that's a huge achievement. We are the best of the rest. And it's a shame. I mean, Mate said here, bottled their most important match in history and their once in chance to qualify. Yeah, we did. We did bottle it. But I don't think only one team could win. One team could win, one team could lose, and that was it, really. And Dan's probably right. We started the season so well, and we did have drifted off. So it hasn't been, as I said. If it was flipped the other way, it'd be interesting to see. James reckons we need 7 players, 3 3Bs, 2 big monies, maybe. Yeah, sound like a voice. I see this as a big. No, I'm not. People, what I'm trying to say is, everyone's like doom and gloom, and I'm just trying to offer a little bit of light and shade. And so if it was all doom and gloom, we'd all jump off a bridge, but it's not. And that's the idea of what we try and do this channel. We try and give a little bit of. I mean, I was listening to Gio and Hammer's chat, the same thing. He was saying the same thing, and it's too right. It's too right. Yeah, exactly. First back to it. Yeah. Or should we set the manager? Totally right. I mean, looking at. Premier League finishes. What we finished 8th? Well, we finished 8th. I think that's the second time ever, Ludders, we've done it. I think the first time we did it was actually under the Redknapp era. We finished 5th and 8th or 5th and something like that. So still it's an achievement. If we finish 8th, we should do better in the league. But then I say every year we have a Premier League where we're never going to win the Premier League. Are we realistically? So it's always going to be one of 4 teams anyway, really. And then it's 5, 6, 7, 8, and this is mini league which we're in, which it's better to be in. We used to be in a mini league with say us and whoever was like 15th to 20th or maybe 13th, and then we get into a mini league from about 12 to 15, and then we was in a mini league in the top 10. Now we're in a top 8 mini league. That ain't bad, and even that, to be honest, we're in about 5 to 8, 5 to 9 mini league. That's the way it is. The sending off really didn't help us. No, it didn't, mate. It didn't. You're totally right. You're totally right. Arsenal got to the final of Europa League and lost and finished 8th, and they didn't get Europe. You're totally right. They didn't qualify for Europe the following year. So, and as I said, these other teams, not Lyon out. Lyon haven't got European football next year. It'd be terribly important to them. They won't get that now. If Frankfurt had lost, they wouldn't have European football next year. So, yeah, we need 7. Don't like to talk of being in the conference. Better players will come if we're in the conference, especially when players decide between us, Villa. You're totally right, and there's a few already. I'm thinking about the likes of Brozier and people like that. If Southampton come sniffing, and so we come sniffing, and we can offer European football, every badge dip, it's European football, that type of thing. Same as Leicester as well. He's already put it in. And also, with Newcastle, this year Newcastle will have the big money, but they can't offer European football at the moment. Next season, probably could do. And you're right, we'll still have those nights. To be honest, we have the night. I mean, for the guys who went to Lyon away, that night, I think the Sevilla game at home was an amazing night. I'll always remember. And by the sounds of it, the guys who went out there to Frankfurt had an incredible time. Obviously, the result didn't get their way, but there we go. Sorry for being so negative yesterday about the conference emotion. Nah, Patrick, and that's why because we let people of all opinions come on and chat. If I don't agree with them, I say I don't agree. But if people don't agree with me, don't agree with me. But it's not like, but we all wear the same badge, don't we? We all wear the same badge. We all have claret and blue running through our veins. Well, definitely claret. But if you have a bit varicose veins, really, if it's blue. But you know what I mean. Theoretically, we're all one club. But That's why we have. That's why That's why we have debate, because otherwise it'd be bloody boring. A sleep really helped, actually. There we go. If we get loads of, they may need a year to gel. They may do, lads. They may not. And that's the thing. Coming people talk. Oh, January. I know January was a huge thing. We should have strengthened. There's no proof that signing players in January may have improved our squad. Look at the signings. Vlasic hasn't performed well since we signed him. If we'd signed a Vlasic type player in January, we'd have been happy. But he hasn't made an impact. We were lucky with Jesse Lingard. I was going to do, actually, I might do something over the weekend and look at the. I think there's some transfers worked out really well for people this year in January. People like I can't off the top of my head now. But I'm going to do it just a bit for my own personal sanity more than anything. Unrelated, I'm trying to get a Champions League spot in the Fantasy Football Premier League. Well, lucky you. God knows who will be here. Money calling. Well, we'll see, man. Have you noticed Brochu's gone right off the ball since they beat us in the cup? Well, you see, that's what I mean. That's the trouble is. It's one of those things. Should have gone big in 8. I don't think people were ever going to really realistically compete with Roma for Abraham's. In my opinion, because he's so much of a fanboy of Mourinho, and Mourinho is of him. So they had a real sort of father-son type relationship. So, the money would have been similar, but I think he was always going to go to Roma. Vlasic hasn't been given. No, he hasn't been given loads of matches. Exactly. We bought him. We spent this money. We haven't played him. So, it's all right getting bodies in, but it's getting the right bodies in, isn't it? And I think, Moyes, he said he couldn't get the right people in. So that's what it is, isn't it? Vlasic hasn't been given enough time. The team seem to be loving. They do seem to really, really like him playing, especially in training. Heard a Lowland crashing a wedding, so definitely had a good time last night indeed. Moyes looks so much like my teacher, by the way. Is there anyone who thinks Antonio will play next season? With Moyes' comments, I can't see it. We actually put the video on. Someone sent it to us, and we got permission for them to put it onto the channel because people were asking about it. So it's actually on that wedding thing. It's quite a short video. Let's do a few more positive stories. Come on, let's do some more positives. So that's our Premier League finishes. So, in theory, if we finish 7th, 2 of our best ever Premier League series, 2 out of 3 would be in the last 2 years. Wins at the moment, we've got 15. Let me take that off. We've got 15 wins so far this season. The chances are we'll get at least one. I reckon we'll get the Norwich win. That's probably going to be it. I reckon. So if that is, that will equal our second best haul for wins after the 21-22 season. Goals, we're currently on 53 goals. So a few goals in the next few weeks. We won't get to the dizzy heights of 65, I don't think, unless we turn over Brighton and Man City and Norwich by 4 goals. But it sort of just shows, it's when I say it's a good season, it has been a good season. We've scored a lot of goals, we've conceded a lot as well, but we've scored a lot. And then I just did some sort of highlights, beating Liverpool at home 3-2, beating Chelsea, the world club champions, 3-2. Knocking City and United out of the Carabao Cup. Man City, 5 years they hadn't been lost out of the Carabao Cup. We knocked them out. Knocking Sevilla, who was second in the Liga, out of the Europa League. Knocking Lyon out of the, a real sort of 2 European heavyweights out of the Europa League. We won our European group, which means obviously we missed a round, which was great. So far, we've scored in every Premier League goal this season so far at home. That ain't bad at all, really. In terms of the academy, we don't talk about the academy. They were, the youth guys are having a great time. The under-23s were Premier League 2 runners-up. The under-18s were runners-up of the Premier League 2 South. The under-7, this isn't exhaustive. This is just what, last few times. This is what, under-17s world, the London Cup winners. The other day when we had Jimmy Walker on, the under-15s won the Floodlit Shield as well. They've, it's not just with us, and I mean also the ladies, West Ham women. They got through to the FA Cup semi-final this season, obviously losing, to Man City, but they got through to a semi-final as well. So it's not that bad. I know it feels like it. I know it feels like we could have been in the Champions League. We tasted it, and I know it feels like it. But we should still be really, really, really positive of the future. I can see that. As I said, there's people in here who have been supporting the players a lot longer than me. They've been through the mire. They've been through the bond schemes, and they've seen, West Ham on the verge of collapse. And, we forget about the Icelandics, and, we've had, our history is littered with these, with these peaks and troughs. But I think we're going to have a bit of a sustained peak at the moment, and we need to enjoy it, because there will be a time. There will be a time where that drops. It's only natural. And so we need to enjoy these times when we can. And that's why yesterday I was talking about being a celebration rather than necessarily being, a game, because it's a celebration to the fans, because it said a thank you to them. I really thought that was the case. Do you want to beat City and let Liverpool win? Yeah, I don't mind. If we get new players, will they not play anyway? Stop wasting money on people who don't want to play. Indeed. More chances of Ian A. Oh, please not Moose. How many more points would we have gotten with just 5 more goals? Mate, exactly. And don't forget last season we were, don't forget there's a whole period where we'd go 3 up and lose or draw or just scrape the victory. And I'm thinking Arsenal, Brighton, if that had gone one way or the other, we would have been in the Champions League this year. Probably wouldn't have qualified to go out of the group stages. May have then gone to the Europa League, or maybe not even won or maybe just lost the group entirely. But I think this was obviously the way it happened, and then going into Europe this way. As I said at the beginning, I never thought we were going to even get past the group stages, in all honesty. And then we did. We won it. And then we played Sevilla, and I thought, we're never going to beat Sevilla, like the Man City of the Europa League. We beat them. And every so our expectations were rising. And you're probably right. You probably did paper over the cracks of our and our league form did suffer. But again, we're new to this whole dynamic, and this should be the norm for us now. We should be qualifying in Europe, whether it is conference, whether it is Europa League. Maybe one day the champ. I mean, look, realistically, you go through the Champions League, places. It's dominated by the greedy 6. I can't think of a situation where someone out of the greedy 6 hasn't got it. Maybe Leicester when they won the league, but it is dominated by them. So it does, and it probably was a once in a lifetime opportunity to do it. But it is what it is. Scoring all home games is quite a great one, actually. It is, as he extends from last year as well. I think it's something like 19 games we've done that. So the future is bright. It is bright. What's the best comment of the day? Let me know, Scott. This was a golden opportunity. It was a golden opportunity in 2006 as well, when we did win the FA Cup. We've had these, and for me, it's changed the way we view football, view sort of West Ham in that, I never, as I said, for me, it wasn't about. I found them. I think people saw us as plucky West Ham, but now people think of us as a top 8 side. Although not top 4 side, because they'd still sort of, if we were 4th, they still sort of said the team that finished 5th were they were challenging for Europe. They would always forget us, but it doesn't matter. We were there to disrupt, and we are there to disrupt. I'd be knackered at playing. Yeah, I mean you're right, for the players themselves. You're totally right. It's a different mentality playing a Thursday, Sunday than playing Saturdays and occasionally playing midweeks. Who hates you, Moose? I don't know. What's that got to do, Pete? That's just nasty, isn't it? We've been nasty for. Anyway, even Grealish gets more game time than Vlasic. World Cup will be a good stage for him to show his quality and move to a more offensive club. That's the thing. You've got a good point. You've got with the World Cup as well. Players are going to be wanting to go to teams that they're going to actually play, and so there may be to get into World Cup squads. So I think you'll see some interesting moves happening in the summer for that exact reason. Too right, Russ. It wasn't long ago we were playing Covent with do you know what, Apache? It wasn't too long ago. No disrespect, because I bloody love. What's his face? Steve Jones. But I remember once we played Leeds at Upton Park. It was 3-0. I think we had Mike Newell and Steve and Jonah up front. We were awful. It was the worst football I've ever seen. I remember going to watch a Villa game once when we had because before I worked at West Ham, I've been working at West Ham for 21 years. Before now, I was a season ticket holder for 10 years before then. Just wanted to clarify that. And I probably would have been a season ticket holder if I wasn't obviously working at West Ham now. But it's just because someone mentioned something and I thought, what? Why did you say that? I remember a game and I think we played Aston Villa and it was 1-1, and I think they scored in the first minute and we scored in the 89th minute. And there's been some dross. I mean, we did the Noble Era thing the other day. 225 players Mark's played with, and some of them are absolutely shocking. Now look at the quality of team or players he's been playing with in the last two and a half years compared to what he was playing in the sort of the Zola years or the Glenn Hoddle, God rest his soul. But sort of some of those players, the likes of Radislav Kovac and Savio and Javier Marga, he didn't play for Javier Marquez, but you know what I mean. Sort of, it's different. It's different. A chapter has ended, another will open. Put this season behind us and treat next one. Jazza, that's getting starred. Love it. Only mistake this year was squad depth. We know it was the case. You're right. And utilising the youth. I still think there's an interesting. When we interviewed Pat Holland, he spoke about that, and he directly asked David Moyes about bringing kids in, and he doesn't necessarily agree bringing them in until probably the ages of 21, because he thinks it's too much for them to cope unless they're exceptional, unless they're literally knocking the door down because they're that good. So that's probably why we haven't seen so many, because he has his faith in his squad of 13 or 14. It's as Patrick, I hope he learns from his mistakes. I think we could work with a small squad and we were only competing on one front. And don't forget we got to we beat City, we beat Man United in the Carabao. We did quite all right at that. Should have beaten what's the name? Should have been Tottenham, but there he was. With Europe, common sense, says bigger boat. Yeah. Exactly. I think we understand that now. I think Clips said it best in the season review when he was going on about how we can go 3 up and start to panic. Indeed, your comment that this has been a very good year for us, all things in perspective. Thank you. Just an idea. Would love to get some of the West Ham channel at the end of the season to get together on season reviews of our best. So it would be lovely to get some of all the West Ham channels at the end of the season to get together on season overall of our best ever season and review our captain Mark Noble. Well, we started to do it. We did Noble Era, where we went through every player that Mark Noble had played for, and that was really interesting. Every player he's played with at West Ham. But yeah, maybe. World Cup at the end of the year, indeed. Was gagging to get on last night. He certainly was. Our best players have also played domestically for their nations. You're right. Declan Rice hasn't. Declan Rice, Souček, Soufal, these guys haven't had a break for 2.5 years. Realistically, with the Euros and everything else that's gone on, so it doesn't surprise me that it's coming to roost. Doesn't matter what happens over the next few weeks. Football have made a brilliant season. Made me feel proud. Peter Jones being complimentary of the season. Very good. I like it. What do you make of the future of the club? He'll be here for next season at least. That announcer last night took delight in us. It's so biased. It's easy to pick out the condescension in most annoying. They are because they don't like us. Some clubs saying other clubs could be looking at Moyes. They could be. Of course they bloody well could be, couldn't they, to be honest? I mean, if you're looking at someone who's come in and made a massive impact and changed the whole ethos of the club. Look at Pellegrini. When Pellegrini, came in, it was always just throw money. Typical Man City, just throw money. So I was okay. This guy's gonna be crap, but City will then go buy another £50 million player, or that's what they do. And Pellegrini had the same attitude. And then the scouting infrastructure, the recruitment was just non-existent. Moyes is coming out and he's had to build that club from the beginning, from the bottom up, and he's got them from relegation candidates just outside the relegation by goal difference when he took over to European semi-finalists in 2 years. I tell you what, there ain't many managers in the world that would do that on such a not a tight budget, but on a budget of not hundreds of millions of pounds. Eddie Howe's doing it now, but he's managed to bring in lots of he's got money, he's brought in some good players already, but he's had the luxury to do that. But will they then they won't qualify for Europe this year, so they have to qualify for Europe the following year. So there'll be another year and a bit down the road compared to us in the project. So we'll see. Moyes has taken us further than any other manager in the last 40 years. You're totally right. Other than that is exactly my point. That's exactly my point, Happy Hammer. It's we have these flash in the pan seasons, and I think sometimes we look at them and go, brilliant, yeah, it's great. But then what happens next? We never invest. We never take it. Boys of '86 next season, we didn't invest. We didn't build on that. We had back in the '60s. Fuck's sake, we won the World Cup, and we never won the league. We never, even that period, we never got out of the top six. We're never in the top six. We had three of the best players in the world officially. In the '70s, '76, we got to the final, but we didn't progress. And I think that's what I want us to see. I want us to see now. Consistency sounds boring. It does sound boring, but I want us to be a top 8 team every season. I want us to be 40 points by January. Do you know what I mean? So we're not even worried about, we're not even in the conversation about relegation. I want us to be competing in Europe every season, if possible. I want us to be getting forwards the 5th round, 6th round of the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup. And that's our level, and that is our level. I think that's our level. Realistically, there will be a freak season. You will have a freak season where Leicester win the title, but that won't happen for many years' time because all the other clubs start spending more money. So typical for us to beat Lyon and lose to mid-table. Lyon are mid-table, damn. Lyon are mid-table side. Frankfurt are no mugs, honestly. That's what I said. They weren't a muggy side at all. And as I said, they got to the semi-finals 2 years ago. Lyon, as I said, Lyon were 10th as well in the league this season. Russ, next match, I'll be joining this channel to support the team. West Ham, very good. Is that Peter Jones from Dragon's Den? Nope. That is only the team, indeed. Hasn't Pellegrini just won something with Real Betis? Well, he didn't. They lost to Frankfurt, didn't they, in the second round? They got knocked out by Frankfurt as well. I don't know. If like to have some money, I would invest in. I think everyone. They won the domestic cup. Is it Defo 5 subs? If so, bigger teams would have a bet. Yep, Defo I think is going to be 5 subs next year. So that again might mean we've the squad quality we need to improve and and what I like, I know Moyes is called different Dave and things like that, but he does adapt, he does change. It might take him a while to do it, but he does adapt his style and I think it's clear. And when he gets interviewed and talk about squad depth, he does say, yeah, I know we've got a small squad and I know we didn't invest, which I know we didn't buy in January, and he gives his reasons for it. But he knows it, he's not stupid. He's not, I know we all see, why does he play the Juve? He's been in football for a lot longer than he's competed. He hasn't put not the top level, in European competitions, but he's competed, in the Premier League. He's got more games. I think he's in the 3rd or 4th most Premier League games in charge or something ridiculous like that. He's got Kevin Nolan, he's got Stuart Pearce, he's got these real good football people behind him. The infrastructure of the club, it's more West Ham than it's ever been in the last 10, 15 years, I'd suggest. In terms of the likes of every one of those youth teams has a West Ham ex-player there. So it's about getting that West Ham DNA right from under 14s all the way up to the under 23s. It's about the likes of Kenny Brown overseeing it. It's about the likes of Stevie Potts, Kevin Keane, Colton, Zavon, Jimmy Walker. I've definitely forgotten someone. I apologise. But that's what it's about. That's what it's about. And that's what Moyes has brought back. He's brought back a team. And he's brought back a team that are putting together. And we need to yesterday was a disappointment. As someone said, one chapter starts, the other opens. All these fans of plastic cups are taking the piss on Twitter just to show you our support is genuine and money can't buy loyalty. Look, Chris, we dish it out. We've got to take it, don't we? We've dished out so much to Tottenham. So you're going to get all the Tottenham fans come back. And that's what football's all about. It's about bantering, isn't it? Not every team can play well because only one team can win the league. Only one team can win the Champions League. Only one team can win the Carabao. So the other 19 teams, are going to be, anytime they fuck up, they're going to be, hey. That's the way it works. What should go for Pope if we don't make Areola number one? Interesting article I read about Areola and his wage demands. Very interesting. It makes sense. I understand it because obviously at the moment PSG are paying a massive chunk of his wages, and obviously coming to West Ham, he'd want the same wages, and and so you can see why they're looking at maybe alternatives for that position, whether it be particularly with the negotiations with Declan Rice as well. If Ariella comes in and say he's not going to start first team football, say it's going to be him and Fabianski battling for the number one shirt, then Declan Rice is I can see the reasonings. I might not agree with the reasons, but I can understand the reasonings behind why it hasn't been made permanent yet. Or, obviously there is the option for another loan deal out with Areola, I've been told. But obviously Nick Pope could be available. Sam Johnston's still knocking about as well. It's going to be interesting. Right, what is the point of having all the academy players when we never use them in the first team? Ludders, yeah, it's a good point. But as I said, Patsy made a really interesting point. Talking directly to David Moyes about bringing in the 23s into the first team, and he said there's a certain age point that he doesn't really start looking at them because the way football, because before with the combinations league and reserve team football, the youths, they were playing with professional like seasoned first teamers who are coming back from injury and things like that. The under 23s isn't the intensity is different. So although they might be shining for the under 23s, it's that sort of next step up, and they believe that actually it's more of a step up now than it was beforehand. So I get that, I understand it. We know what we're all the same, and we'd like to see some of the boys given a run out. But anyway. Mate, I think West Ham fans need humbling. They start to think they're becoming better than Arsenal, brought back down to earth, isn't it? Not really. But I know what you mean. To be fair, all of us to some extent are armchair managers who would have played this player. Of course we were. And people agree with this and people don't agree. Have you got stats over VAR stats to see if we've done better since? I think not before, but I know there was someone sent me it and we did all right. It's sort of like, it was almost like we don't necessarily, we always see the VAR stats which go against us, but not necessarily the ones that come to us. And actually, sometimes we don't even get made aware of the VARs being checked, but it's been checked and decisions being made already. But yeah, I think we did all right, but I can't see exactly. Right, anyway, I'm just letting everyone have a good old moan with each other. The very least positions Moyes need a DM, RRB, right back, FW, something wing, and left wing. Is that right wing or left wing? I don't know. Maybe what we'll do next week. Maybe next week we'll do we'll have a debate show. We love a mass debate here, don't we? And maybe we'll talk about summer transfer priorities. We'll do that next week. And you guys can come on. Rather than type, you can come on and tell us your priorities. You're Davey Moyes, who you're buying, and what position. What positions you're buying and who you're buying. Enough of this sitting behind the top, Come out and tell us. And we'll be interested to hear that. As I said, there's two ones. This comment I thought was great. To us, it was the world's tomorrow's chip paper. So true. And then the other comment was Jazzers. A chapter has ended, another will open. Put this season behind us and treat next year as the start of a new era. I absolutely love that comment. Right, what we're going to do for all our channel members is every month we do a prize draw. So you can subscribe, you can like, comment, all that stuff is free. But we do offer a channel membership down there, and what happens is everyone who's a member gets entered into a prize draw every month. So it's like a raffle to win some usually signed stuff. And last month we had a signed shirt, which was won by the Luxter, who still hasn't emailed me to tell me he's done it. So we might be doing that again. If he doesn't claim it, might have to send it anyway to get someone else in. But today it's for a signed Eintracht Frankfurt programme from last Thursday, signed by Keith Robson, who scored in the 1976 semi-final, as well as the final as well. So let's bring up. Let's just remove that. We'll do this, and then I'm going to have to skedaddle because I've got to do some work. Share some screens. Let's go. Let's do that as well. My computer will probably freeze for a minute because it always does when I want to do anything interesting. So here we go. Let's give it a spin. Let's give it a spin. Let's give it a spin. Let's see who wins. I'll tell you what, I'm going to mute the screen audio because it's a bit loud. Sorry about that. Let's see who's won. Let's see. It's slowing down. It's slowing down. It's slowing down. The winner is it looks like your countdown. Mikey, well done, Mikey. You win a signed programme from Keith Robson. If you want it, let me know. Because obviously you've only been a fan for a few weeks, so you might not want it. And if you don't want it, then we'll respin it. But congrats, Mikey. Well done. And as I said, if you want to get involved, hit the join button. Next month we'll have something more signed that's fun. I know it was a bit loud. I do apologise. And then I put it on for a minute. I didn't realise I put it on for a minute. Anyway, so thank you very much, everybody. As I said, we'll be doing the preview hopefully for the Norwich game tomorrow. We'll have to watch it on Sunday, and then we'll be back with the daily shows and all that malarkey. Next week, have another X-Hammer interview, probably Tuesday or Wednesday next week, and keep an eye out for that. So, as I said, if you're new around here, give it a like already, because we're staying positive. As I said, feel free to subscribe and like the channel. I think we're almost at 12,000 subscribers, which is mental. We've got loads of fun stuff planned for the summer as well. Lots of quizzes, lots of game shows, lots of celebrities, lots of X-Hammers coming on as well to keep you all excited and engaged with West Ham over the summer. And what I like to do is thank every one of our channel members at each of our shows. So take care, everyone. Stay safe. Wash those hands. Stay lucky. Stay cheeky. Stay positive. And I'll see you guys later on. Take care, my friends. Ciao for now.
It's like a family tree, part of you and